He said howdy, folks. This is a continuation of the last video. I went to jiu-jitsu. It was weird. I don't know. I tried to be social. I did sort of. I went and said hi to some people. But everyone is just in a weird mood. I don't know. That gym has a weird vibe. I don't love the vibe. Don't love the temperature. It was super fucking hot, but I knew this, so I did not wear excessive clothes. Technique went pretty good. I was able to get it. It felt good. And then advanced class, we did EBI rules from the back, and I got my face choked hard enough to make it bleed, and then my neck cracked. I mean, I should have tapped earlier for sure, but I wasn't upset about any of that. It's gonna be interesting spending a whole summer here. I don't know. It's too early to tell, but I also told some people, oh, they saw my Cambo scars, and they were like, what is that? And I was like, it's Cambo, poison tree frog. And they were like, what the fuck? I'm like too weird for the South. But I didn't fit in Oregon either. I don't know. But, and then I told people that I'm doing space camp, and one kid was like, holy shit, I went to space camp, it was dope. He was like, it was hot as fuck, you're gonna probably die. And I was like, oh lord. I legitimately might. Because I found out, I don't know if I told you, but the ropes course is mostly outdoors. So, I literally should probably get life insurance. Who wants to be my recipient of my life insurance? You just have to take care of Douglas. It's the only stipulation. And you have to make a documentary about me. Yeah. Usually jiu-jitsu makes me feel better. It's just awkward. I don't know. Not even awkward for me. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm okay with my awkwardness. Just like, I'll sit next to you in silence. Even if it's awkward, I don't care. I do not belong in the world. I don't fit in. I just, like, wish I could just go away and let everyone just do their thing. Like, you don't need me here. Like, I'm not having fun. Like, you guys can just do this without me. I don't need to be here. I don't know. It just seems like I have that feeling a lot, though. It's like reverse FOMO. It's like, if I left, you guys could just have your fun. I'm like screwing it up by not acting the way the universe wants me to act, or whatever. Or I have a jacket on because I'm freezing. I was kind of depressed after jiu-jitsu, so I just took a cold shower. I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna punish the shit out of myself. Is that what the universe wants? For me to get sad enough that I, like, don't care. And I'm just like, whatever. You know how your pain tolerance, your pain threshold goes up when you're depressed? It's like, you can't feel things, or you don't care if it hurts you. No, I just have to find, like, something. Because, like, I don't even care enough to go hard on, like, making money. I do not care. Like, I've made some poor decisions on my cryptos lately, and, like, I can jockey around and recover and capitalize on decisions, but, like, I just don't even care. Because it's like, well, what do I even do with all of that money if I start stacking it? Like, I can really relate to rich people who just get filthy stinking rich and then they have no one to share their money with or anything. They have no hobbies other than making money. I can relate to that for sure. Fortunately or unfortunately, I didn't go down that path of being obsessed with making money. I caught it early. But I still am at the same fucking point. I mean, I get that this life isn't for me and my ego and feeling good and all that. Like, I get that. I'm totally down with that. But then I don't even feel like I'm learning or doing a penance or like paying a sentence. I don't even know. Like, if I knew what I was supposed to be doing, like, did I murder a bunch of people in a past life? And is this, like, what? What am I doing? Why are we here? Is it to have fun? Like, because you ask some people and they'll just give that hedonistic, not that that's wrong, but they're just like, we're on this earth to have fun and enjoy life. Okay, sure. But that requires drugs and substances and a bunch of external shit. But then are we here to just sit in silence and be okay with whatever's happening around us? But I had the opportunity to teach children like karate, tumbling thing, martial arts, back when I lived on the weed farm. And I didn't take the opportunity because I did not feel like qualified, and I don't know, my fear got in the way, for sure. I just wanted to stay in my own little comfort bubble and work at a solar van building company and train jiu-jitsu, which that didn't happen. I had a job interview and did not get hired. And then I've been on the move ever since. Possibly running. Sort of running, but more like seeking, wandering. Hastily wandering. But I just wonder if this space camp thing is like a continuation, like round 2 of the lesson, or round 2 of the opportunity to teach children. I don't know. I hope so. Or I hope, yeah, give me the next lesson. I feel like I'm just waiting on a fucking bus half the time. Twiddle your thumbs while you wait for the bus. Step out into the street while you wait for the bus. Turn your back to it. Oh, did you hear about the YouTube chick, Instagram, whatever, influencer girl, van lifer, that killed herself? I don't know how old this news was, but it popped up in my feed in the last week or two. And she had like, I don't know, 500,000 followers or some shit. And it was like, went through her travels, and I guess she built a van or whatever and traveled in it, and then I don't know what happened. It'd been like a couple years, and then everything looked normal on her social media, and then one day she jumped out in front of a train, and I was like, bravo. Bravo, in a sense that that's a way to do it, man. Like, you ain't pussyfooting around if you hunk your ass in front of a train. Yeah, I don't know, it was a side tangent. Like, maybe all the fucking people that are van lifers are fucking crazy. Or sane. And everyone else is crazy. All the people that live in cubes. Although, this is a tin can. I mean, I was just gonna say, I was proud of myself because I got outside today, and even though I wanted to, like, find an apartment or whatever, or work on the computer or something that I like. It's not even that I like doing it. I do like doing it, but it's just more comfortable than going outside for me. I was sort of a nerd as a kid, so while I like to do outdoor things, it's not like my norm. it's usually have to push myself. It's like smoking weed. Smoking weed is not my norm. I have to push myself to do it. I don't know. Well, at least I'll get in good shape working at space camp. I don't know. I was excited to work with a bunch of college kids, but then after I saw half of them, I was like, holy fuck. They're all dweebs. I was expecting, like, cool kids. People cooler than me is what I was expecting. I don't want to be the coolest. If you're the coolest one at the party, you need to fucking go to a better party. I mean, some people would like to be the coolest one, but I don't know, I was expecting... I always just expect more. Why do I always expect more from life? Better, more. Expect people to be prettier. I paid $7.50 for a mocha today. It actually didn't even cause like a reaction in me. I was just like, well, I even tipped. Even though in my head I was like, that is highway robbery. Which is kind of a step forward for me. I ordered what I wanted, got what I wanted, paid the fucking price, and left. And it was good. Gave me good energy all day. Didn't really tear up my stomach. I did leave a bad review though. I just said I would not be able to go there, even though it's right by space camp. I need to like make videos before I go to jiu-jitsu, so I'm like more talkative. Like I remember my old roommate on the weed farm who lived on a farm for 5 years in Hawaii, like by himself. And he said whenever he would go into town, like every 6 months or I don't even know, to get supplies, he would like practice talking before he would go out, like to himself. I didn't think it was weird when he said that, but I couldn't relate to it, but now I sort of can. I like said what's up to people and I knew they didn't know who I was. And like, am I supposed to like explain who I am? Like, so when I smoke weed, I just become okay with whatever life is handing me. And like, complacent in life. Which I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but it breeds like complacency. But it also breeds like content and appreciation and gratitude to a sense. I mean, I feel grateful sometimes. Man, days are long when you wake up at 7 or 6, whatever I woke up. There was like a 2-hour period I just sat and did nothing. Sort of thought, but not even really thought. I just kind of sat there and zoned off. I can feel myself like becoming less and less. I don't know, this feeling has come on before in my life. Multiple times. But it's like I've become less and less, like I care less and less about social media or whatever, or just even, like I usually don't care what other people are doing. I'll just like, if I see it or whatever, not actually even paying attention. I don't know, I just don't know how people have so much time to dedicate to that. I guess they don't zone off for 2 hours in the middle of the day. I just feel like I don't care if I delete my accounts tomorrow. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I just tired of like trying. No one else is trying. Like I was saying what's up to people and they were just like not even trying to remember who I was. I remembered who they were. Everyone's just like, I don't get it. Like I'm a weird guy. How did you not remember me? And they follow me on Instagram. Like, they've seen my shit. at least once. People are just like I can feel myself barely caring about making these videos. And these videos are only for me. I know no one else gives a fuck. So it's like, something's happening. Yeah, I literally just want to go to work. Like, I want my old life back almost. I just want to smoke weed every day, go to a fucking 9 to 5, punch a clock, make $55,000 a year, train jiu-jitsu, get drunk on the weekends, have a relatively clean but not crazy clean diet. I've always had a pretty clean diet, but now it's just like, has to be clean almost because of allergies and shit. Like, I could add meat back in, but like, it's just like to cook it in here and sourcing. I wonder if life is making me like this, because one day there's going to be a scenario where I need to just, like, I don't know, do something drastic, and I will have the courage, or just not even desperation, just like, there won't be resistance, because I won't be comfortable, ever. I just said that because that dog just made me want to go out there and just smack it. And study. That's... Study? Like, study human design astrology. Because I wasn't really studying when I had I mean, I was researching, like, flat earth shit, and then somehow... Oh, and then I was researching stuff Zen would talk about, yeah, drinking your piss and fasting. I guess I was, but... And a little astrology. Then I also forget how much, like, mental bullshit that a job adds to you, so... I mean, like, getting into van life mode was a pretty big jump, but it was like... It's almost like life turns up the heat in this pot that I'm in. And pretty soon I'm like, the water's getting kind of warm. Oh, it's kind of boiling. I'm uncomfortable. And like when the lobsters like scream when you boil them, or the crabs or whatever. I'm the crab that's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And then I climb into a new pot with cold water. I'm like, this is different. Yeah, it's just on another burner next to it. It's like, is this what's happening again? Tough, because like getting stoked about the future, I don't know, helpful to like push you along, but at the same time, when you get stoked about stuff, you have these preconceived notions, whatever's making you stoked. And then when the event happens and that doesn't happen, it's just like, fuck. You like need to rewrite the code to the Matrix. There's just outdated programming. It needs to be rewritten. Like, let's say I have a conversation with someone, just a random stranger, wherever, thrift store. It's pretty reasonable for me. And let's say, like, I'm outgoing. Let's say I initiate. Or they initiate, whatever. Doesn't matter at this point. And then I say, like, perfect things, or just, I'm really hep to the conversation, and the energy's flowing, and I don't know, I'm just expressing myself. I'm not holding back, I guess. But then that person is just blocked. Because either they don't expect it, who knows why. they were trying to say a one-off comment, and I responded back, whatever. Like, when I leave that, if I left that conversation, this hypothetical conversation, I would either feel awesome about myself because I did good, or I'd feel shitty because I'd be like, wow, that person, we could have shared a moment, and they've ruined the moment. And then if you flip that, let's say, this is probably more likely what will happen. Let's say I'm at a thrift store and I say a one-off comment, or someone says something to me, and I'm just off my game, and I'm just like not ready to talk to people, or just fumble some shit words, or say something that just goes over their head, or they're really animated and upbeat, and it just throws me off. Then I feel shitty because I feel like I fucked that up. We could have shared a moment. Or I feel shitty because I'm like, man, look how awesome they were. And they were so free and expressive, and I want to be like that. Like, it doesn't inspire me, I guess. Like, when I've heard things like, just bro friends in the past have been like, I like gyms with lots of ripped dudes because it makes me feel motivated to get ripped and lift heavy. And I'm like, just put on my gaydar goggles. Not that I don't know. That I don't really care. There could be scrawny dudes. There could be 50 jack dudes. I'm gonna probably lift the same. More or less. But if you throw in like hot girls, ugly girls, girls makes it totally different for me. Not that I would change my workout, but I'm definitely gonna like do stuff differently than I would if it was just a bunch of dudes. I don't know, I'm like coming to the realization that I don't know if life is gonna get any better. Not like a depressing fact, just like giving up hope that like it'll change. Because I feel like, I don't know, nothing really changes. I've heard that advice, and I didn't believe it at first, but I'm starting to feel like I'm kind of just swimming in circles. And even if I did miraculously change myself to like the cover of Time magazine, like the odds of sliding back, not the odds, but like just the people like to see a car wreck as much as they like to see a drag strip, race car, pretty car, I don't know. And the odds of me not wanting to fuck that meddle with my own success is 0 or 100. But then there's this part of me, I know this, that won't accept anything but what I know I can achieve, or, you know, that like, shoot for the moon and hit the stars, whatever. It's like, there's just that constant discontentness. Obviously the ego. You'll never be happy. I feel like happiness is a warm gun. It does help to look back and be like, maybe I'm changing, just fucking slowly. Yeah, like I quit playing video games when I was like 27. Yeah. Took a bunch of acid, had an ego death. sort of tried to like get my life together, I guess. Just tried to or tried to grow up. I don't know. Saturn returned something. Got rid of all my video games. But then I'm like, what have I even done in that time that I would have been playing video games? Like, have I improved myself? I don't know. Just improvement. But then at the same time, you can't. I'm not saying you can't, but like, if you just became a shitbag who just drank, did drugs all the time, I don't know. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't. I would be less content. Like, I can barely drink for one day. The next day, I'm like, well, you need to go work out. Like, not as a punishment, but sort of. This is such a fucking ramble. This is what my channel is going to be reduced to. Not that the content was better before, but I sort of thought shaving my beard off would help people's acceptance of me. I still get weird stares. People still stare at me weird. Like, is this that weird? I had a conversation about someone who had a goth phase, and I was just like, I didn't really understand goth phases, like not at all. I was always too scared to like buy shit at Hot Topic. I would go in and like not till way later in my life, not till like my mid-20s, I would buy shit, and it would just be like metal band tees. It wouldn't be anything weird. But talking to a former goth person, they felt like a freak, so they were just going to give people the freak show to look at. Like, huh, alright, that's interesting. I've never thought about it that way. It's just like making more and more sense. Like, part of me wishes I could just be a failure. Or does everyone feel like a failure by the time they get old? Is that just like growing up? You just accept failure?